How's it going? I just got off the phone with my mom. Had a long conversation with her about the nature of this world we're living in. We talked about a lot of stuff. The conversation started out talking about children's toys and how they're not immune even from this identity politics, this transhumanist agenda. I won't get too hard into specifics. She's going to send me some pictures of some toys that were questionable as far as taste goes. And I'm not a Puritan, but I do think that there are things that children should be exposed to based on what their parents think is correct. And one of these insidious things that are going on right now is, you can buy a toy for a kid now and not know what it is. I don't know if you're aware of this. If you're a parent, I'm sure you know what this is. But if you're not, and these are some of the more popular toys. So my mom took my niece to the toy store, and she said she gives her a dollar amount, and she's like, you can buy whatever you want in this dollar amount, and that's going to be your birthday present. So she chooses two toys, and I'm not going to mention their brand names, but both of the toys were essentially surprises. And so a few years ago, I wasn't aware of this. I don't have any children of my own, but I have two nieces and two nephews between the ages of 4 and 7.5, almost 8. So I'm vicariously aware of what's going on with that generation through my brother and sister and through my mother. And these kids are it's one of the more popular topics here on these video channels is kids watch videos of other kids opening toys. Yeah. Now, this doesn't really surprise me now that I've had a time to think about it, but when I was first told about this, I was a bit puzzled. But it makes sense now. These kids learn to live vicariously through the experiences of others. Now, on one hand, this can be a very beneficial thing, but it's being exploited in such a nefarious way. That's why I say it's nefarious. So now, beyond just kids opening toys of things that they know what they are, now they package toys that are a surprise. You're essentially buying a question mark, and you don't know what you're going to get. You're going to get a doll of some sort, for example, and you don't know what it's going to be. It could be anything. It could be a giant communist surprise. And that's exactly what my niece got at her birthday this last week. There was I'm going to sound a little puritanical when I talk about some of this stuff, but you have to keep in mind, this is her 4th birthday. She's a child, a young child. She should not be exposed to certain things without her parents' approval. Now, if this was a toy that was packaged and marketed and was obvious on the outside what it was, and you knew what you were getting, fine. You want to expose your children to that? Great. That's all. You've got your own personal freedom. Go ahead and do it. I might not agree with it, but I'll agree with your freedom to do that. Another thing entirely is hiding subversive ideas and identity politics inside this giant question mark that you're buying. And I'll tell you what happened. So she buys this package that's got a random doll in it. And inside is a transsexual doll. It is a male dressed as a female. And not just a female, but dressed like a whore with a midriff with the belly hanging out and short shorts and whatever. And this doll has full genitalia. Yeah, a penis, testicles, and this is marketed to a 4-year-old. That is just not cool. You can say what you want about transhumanism, transsexuality, whatever. If you're an adult, man, go for it. Knock yourself out. I still don't agree with it. I feel like it's delusional, but that's my opinion. Your opinion might be different. That's fine. We're allowed to have different opinions. I used to say jokingly when I was younger that I was a lesbian trapped in a man's body because, I found males so, kind of gross, at least physically. And when I was younger. Not that I find men attractive now. I've never found men attractive. I subscribe to the same concept as like Elaine on Seinfeld. Men are built like Jeeps. There's nothing really, attractive to them. Women are like sports cars. I like women. I love women. Anyway, my own predilection aside, just because I joked and said that, and I didn't mean that in any kind of demeaning way to people who actually believe that kind of thing about themselves. But for me, it doesn't mean that I'm going to go and mutilate my body. That to me, that's the line. You want to wear whatever clothes you find. You want to wear whatever. You want to dress up. You want to put makeup on. You want to change your name. You're an adult. Fine, go right ahead. To me, the part that gets questionable is the mutilation, and that's what you're doing. These surgeries, these hormones, they're mutilations. If you already feel like you're this other thing than what you appear to be, I don't understand the logic in taking external ways to further change for other people. Do you see what I'm saying? If you already think that if you're born a male and you feel like you're a female, why not just be a female or present yourself as a female? Like, what's wrong with that? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but why is that not enough? Why is it that you have to go further and take female hormones, which are going to disrupt your own bodily functions? Why are you going to mutilate your body so that you no longer function the way that your genetics intended? All moral questions aside, there's a lot of medical questions here, and everybody glosses right over these medical questions as to health. In an attempt to placate mental health, which is what a lot of this is. It is placating, and it is a mental health issue. In an attempt to placate, not solve, not heal, but to placate mental health issues, the physical health of the body is sacrificed. I don't agree with that. Anyway, coming full circle, this toy was designed to put weird ideas into a small child's head. I say weird because the shit is weird. It's very weird. If you were to spend all your time on social media, you'd think it was everywhere. And compared to 10 years ago, it's in a lot more places than it was. But this is still an aberration. And talk about insidiousness, I believe this aberration is designed to soften people up for way more nefarious things. Presenting yourself as a female, if you're originally a male, there's nothing destructive about that. The mutilations and the hormone switches, that can be destructive, but I feel the destruction is going to come in the next wave when people want to become cyborgs. Yeah, cyborgs. I'm going to use lots of really old words like communists, commies, cyborgs, whatever, and it's going to make it seem like I'm stuck in some old science fiction. Well, I got news for you. Science fiction is quickly becoming science fact every day. And transhumanism is absolutely where we're headed. I mean, we're there. We are right there in transhumanism. We're just in some of the early stages. The next stages are going to be, and some of them are some of them are going to be very useful, but the useful ones are going to be what they use to sell us on the ones that are designed to subvert our humanity. Having someone that's lost a limb, have it replaced with something robotic that can function mostly in the same way, that's highly useful, right? But brain implants and tracking devices and, perhaps, they and I'm going to connect a few ideas here together. They're talking about abolishing prisons. Well, What if you could abolish prisons? What if instead of having somebody locked up like an animal, we could just implant them? You probably haven't heard that idea in the news yet, but I bet you will in the coming years. You know, they already talk about taking rapists and pedophiles and castrating them. And people talk about, oh, how horrible that might be. You know, honestly, that if you did castrate a man that was attacking and destroying people's lives with his, with his genitals, maybe taking away how those genitals function to begin with, given the choice. Now, again, if the people themselves are given this choice and are given all the information and then they still want to go through with it, then you know what? Maybe it is a benefit. Maybe a rapist who is otherwise a mostly peaceful person, except when they're raping, maybe if they no longer can rape, maybe that is a solution. I don't know. I don't think so. I think the human mind is adaptive in such a way where even if you take away his genital ability to malign other people, these people that are predators will always be predators, and they'll find ways to predate no matter what you do. It's just like, you know, if you find a way to keep criminals out of prison by implanting them with tracking devices and things that alter the way they think and the way they feel and the way that they experience reality. Not all of them, but some of them are going to adapt. Some of them are going to continue to be criminals. Some of them are going to find ways to use it to their advantage. Oh, no, officer, I have maybe I am a little angry about this, okay? A little. Here, let me just do a little bit of anger. But no, I'm trying to turn my frustration into solutions here. And I think the solution is that adults are free to be exposed to any adult thing that they want. Adults are free to make any kind of decisions they want. Adults are free to agree or disagree. You know, you watching this right now may disagree with me and think I'm some kind of bigot. But, you know, I want to have that conversation. Tell me why. And I don't want to hear canned responses. I don't want to hear what someone else thinks. I don't want to hear what TV or your social media feed thinks. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear your ideas. I want to hear your reasoning. Explore your own mind. The whole point of what I'm trying to do here is to enlighten people. And maybe all I do is anger you. Maybe all I do is frustrate you. Maybe you shouldn't watch me. I don't know. But if you think I'm wrong or you think I'm right, let's have that discussion. Let's expand these ideas together. Let's explore these ideas together. If I'm horribly wrong about something, enlighten me. I want to know more. This is all in a search, for me personally, this is all a search for data. Okay? So, yeah, let's leave the kids alone. Let's not shove these adult ideas into kids' heads. Let's give them the time to be kids. Right? That time is so short, and it's shorter and shorter and shorter all the time. It's such a profound time of development for the human mind, for the human soul, for our celestial abilities. You know, we're celestial beings having a human experience. And to disrupt that experience with big ideas that aren't ready to fit inside of tiny heads yet, I don't think it's healthy. And I think we're going to see in the next generation here a lot of the damage that's been done. And hopefully this damage, some of it, you know, the cream always rises to the top. And some of this damage is going to create new solutions. I'm seeing it already. And I tell you what, folks, all hope is not lost. You know, this was where I left it with my mom in the conversation we had. It's like, Mom, all hope is not lost. These are growing pains. You know, we're going to have to get past this. You know, we're adaptive creatures, and right now we're adapting to have really easy, soft lives. We're inventing problems. We're inventing weird things to have to rail against. And once we have a real problem to deal with, all this identity stuff will wash away. And hopefully we'll have learned from the experience of having to deal with all that bullshit. All right, you guys. This has been this is what you got to expect. You know, I'm done cutting my hair now, and I'm gonna be getting into some deep holes here right away. So I hope you enjoy what I have to say, and if you don't, tell me why. Love you, mean it.